Imagine a world where man's best friend is not just a product of nature, but a creation of human ingenuity. Welcome to the dawn of AI and robotics, a revolutionary era where technology and creativity intertwine to redefine the boundaries of what's possible. AI, or artificial intelligence, is an intricate field of computing that allows machines to mimic human intelligence. It's a fascinating realm where machines learn, reason, perceive, and even make decisions. And when this AI is combined with the mechanical marvels of robotics, the results are nothing short of extraordinary. The fusion of AI and robotics has already revolutionized multiple industries. From autonomous vehicles navigating our streets to precision robots performing intricate surgeries, the manifestations of this union are ubiquitous and awe-inspiring. But the potential of AI and robotics extends far beyond these realms. Have you ever thought about a pet that doesn't shed, doesn't need feeding, and can be programmed to perform tasks? An AI robot dog, perhaps? These mechanical companions are not a figment of some science fiction writer's imagination, but a tangible reality. They are a testament to the strides we've made in technology and a glimpse into a future where our companions could be as much a product of our invention as they are of nature. These AI robot dogs can assist in numerous ways. They can serve as companions for the elderly, help with chores, or even act as service dogs, assisting those with disabilities. Their potential applications are as varied as our needs and as boundless as our imagination. But the true beauty of this technological revolution is that it's not confined to corporations or research labs. It's accessible to anyone with a spark of curiosity and a will to create. Yes, that includes you. In this video, we will embark on a journey to create our very own AI robot dog. So buckle up and let's dive into this exciting world of AI and robotics together. The future is here and it's waiting for us to shape it. To start our journey, we first need to gather the essential components. As we embark on this exciting project to build our very own AI robot dog, it's important to understand that our project is going to be a symphony of different parts all working together in harmony. Each component plays a crucial role in creating a functional, intelligent robot dog. Firstly, we need sensors. Sensors are the eyes and ears of our robot dog. They help it perceive and respond to its environment. We'll need a variety of sensors, including proximity sensors to detect objects and prevent collisions, accelerometers to monitor movement and orientation, and perhaps even a camera to give our dog a sense of vision. Next, we turn to motors. Motors bring our robot dog to life, allowing it to move and interact with its surroundings. We'll need different types of motors for different parts of our robot dog. Servo motors, for example, are perfect for controlling the legs and tail, while DC motors can be used for the body's overall movement. Now, let's talk about the brain of our robot dog, the microcontroller. This is the component that coordinates all of the actions of our robot. It receives input from the sensors, processes that information, and then sends instructions to the motors. For our project, a Raspberry Pi or an Arduino would be an excellent choice because they are both versatile, powerful, and user-friendly. Of course, we can't forget the software, the soul of our AI robot dog. This is what makes our robot dog intelligent. It allows our dog to learn, adapt, and make decisions. There are many options for AI software out there, but we'll be using a Python-based machine learning library. Python is a great language for beginners and experts alike, and its machine learning libraries are some of the best in the business. Last but not least, we'll need a power source. Our robot dog needs energy to run, and for that, we'll use a rechargeable battery. The size and capacity of the battery will depend on the size of our robot dog and how long we want it to operate between charges. Remember, this is a high-level overview of the components we'll need. Each component has its own complexity and requires careful selection and understanding. But don't worry, we'll dive deeper into each component in the upcoming sections of this video series. By now, you should have a clear picture of the components needed to bring our AI robot dog to life. It may seem like a daunting task, but remember, every great journey begins with a single step. With these components at hand, you are now set to start building your AI robot dog. Let's move forward with enthusiasm and curiosity, and let's bring our vision of an AI robot dog to life. With our components ready, we can now start building the skeleton of our AI robot dog. Building the skeleton or the body of our AI robot dog is a bit like piecing together a three-dimensional puzzle. It's about finding the right fit and making sure everything is connected as it should be. And just like a puzzle, we're going to start with the edges, or in our case, the legs. Start by taking one of the motors. This will form the hip joint of one of the dog's legs. Connect it to a servo controller, which will allow us to control the motor's movements. Repeat this process for the other 3 legs. Remember, the motors need to be strong enough to support the weight of the robot, so make sure you're using the correct ones. Next, we're going to build the lower part of the legs. Attach another motor to each hip motor. These will serve as the knee joints. Again, connect these to the servo controller. By now, you should have 4 legs, each with 2 points of articulation, mimicking the movement of a real dog's legs. Now that we have the legs, it's time to create the body. The body is essentially a frame that will house all the electronic components, such as the main board and power supply. Start by connecting the legs to the body frame. Make sure they're securely attached and that they can move freely. Next, attach the sensors. These are the eyes and ears of our robot dog. The ultrasonic sensor, which helps the dog navigate and avoid obstacles, goes on the front of the body frame. The temperature and humidity sensors, which help the dog understand its environment, can be placed on the sides. Now, let's move on to the tail. To give our dog a wagging tail, we'll need a motor and a piece of flexible material, such as a thin strip of plastic. Attach the motor to the rear of the body frame and connect the strip of plastic to it. This will allow the tail to wag back and forth. Finally, we need to install the head. Like the tail, the head will need a motor to allow it to move. Attach this motor to the front of the body frame. Then, attach a small box. This will be the dog's head. Inside this box, we'll later install the camera and microphone, which will allow the dog to see and hear. Once everything is connected, take a step back and look at your creation. It might not look like much now, but you've just built the skeleton of an AI robot dog. This frame will serve as the foundation for the rest of the project, supporting all the parts and allowing them to move and function as they should. In the next step, we'll install the brain of our robot dog, the main board. This is the part of the robot that will process all the data from the sensors, control the motors, and make the dog behave as a dog should. But before we move on, take a moment to appreciate what you've accomplished. Building a robot, especially an AI robot dog, is no small feat. It requires patience, precision, and a bit of creativity. You've taken a bunch of individual components and assembled them into something that will soon move and act on its own. Congratulations! You have just built the skeleton of your AI robot dog. Now, it's time to give our robot dog a brain. This is where we dive into the fascinating world of microcontrollers, sensors, and motors, all working seamlessly together to bring our mechanical canine to life. Consider the microcontroller as the command center of our robot dog. It's the brain that controls everything, from the wag of its tail to the tilt of its head. The specific one we're using is a Raspberry Pi, a powerful yet compact microcontroller that's perfect for our project. Installing the Raspberry Pi is straightforward. You'll need to carefully secure it to the head of the robot dog using the provided screws. Once it's secure, you can begin connecting the wires from the various components to the Raspberry Pi. Let's talk about connections. Our robot dog has a variety of sensors and motors that need to be connected to the microcontroller. These include motion sensors, temperature sensors, and a whole array of motors that control everything from the dog's legs to its ears. Each sensor and motor has a specific port on the Raspberry Pi where it will be connected. It's essential to connect each one to the correct port, as this will determine how the brain communicates with the rest of the body. The motion sensors, for instance, will be connected to the GPIO ports on the Raspberry Pi. The temperature sensor, on the other hand, will be connected to one of the I2C ports. This port is designed for inter-integrated circuit communication, allowing the brain to monitor and adjust the robot dog's internal temperature. As for the motors, they'll be connected to the PWM ports. PWM, or pulse width modulation, is a technique used to control the speed and direction of motors. Connecting the motors to these ports will allow the brain to control the dog's movements, from a gentle trot to a speedy gallop. Each connection involves a simple process of plugging the corresponding wire into the correct port on the Raspberry Pi. Just be sure to double-check each connection to ensure everything is correctly installed. Now, let's discuss the basic principles of how the microcontroller works with the sensors and motors. The microcontroller receives data from the sensors, processes this information, and then sends commands to the motors based on that data. For example, If the motion sensors detect an obstacle in the robot dog's path, the microcontroller will process this information and send a command to the motors to change direction. This is a continuous cycle of data collection, processing, and command execution, all happening in real time. This is what enables our robot dog to react and adapt to its environment, just like a real dog would. And there you have it. Our robot dog now has a brain. But remember, installing the microcontroller is just the beginning. The real magic happens when we start programming the AI, which we'll be diving into in the next segment. In the meantime, take a moment to appreciate your progress. Look at the wires and connections, the neatly installed microcontroller, and think about the potential that lies within this mechanical marvel. With the brain installed, our robot dog is starting to take shape. This is more than just a collection of parts and wires. It's a glimpse into the future, a testament to human ingenuity, and a symbol of the exciting possibilities that lie ahead in the realm of AI and robotics. With the hardware set up, we now move on to the most exciting part, programming the AI. Artificial intelligence, or AI as it's more commonly known, is a field of computer science that focuses on creating machines that can think, learn, and make decisions, much like a human brain. Sounds pretty cool, right? But how do we get from a bunch of circuits and wires to a robot dog that can fetch your slippers? Well, that's where machine learning comes in. Machine learning is a subset of AI that allows machines to learn from experience. It's like teaching a child to ride a bike. You don't tell them every single move to make. Instead, you give them the basics, let them try, and they learn from their mistakes until they're zooming down the street. In a similar vein, we'll be teaching our robot dog to learn from its interactions with the world. We'll start by installing a machine learning platform onto our robot dog's computer. There are several out there to choose from, but for the sake of simplicity, we'll go with Python-based TensorFlow. It's user-friendly and widely used in the AI field. First, we'll need to install Python and TensorFlow on the robot's computer. To do this, we'll need to connect the robot to a computer and use a terminal or command prompt. We'll type in the commands to install Python and then TensorFlow. It's a bit like teaching our robot dog its first words. Next, we'll need to set up our training data. This is the information that our robot dog will learn from. We can gather this data in a few ways. We could manually control the robot and have it record its actions and outcomes, or we could use a simulator to generate data. The more diverse and comprehensive our data set, the better our robot dog will be able to learn. Once we have our data, we'll feed it into TensorFlow and start the training process. This is where the magic happens. TensorFlow will use our data to adjust the weights and biases in its neural network, gradually learning how to control the robot. This process can take a while, so it's a good time to grab a cup of coffee and let the computer do its thing. After the training is complete, we'll test our robot dog. We'll see how well it can walk, fetch, and perform other tasks. If it's not performing up to par, we can adjust our training data and try again. It's a bit of trial and error, but remember, even the best learners need a bit of practice. Lastly, we'll program some basic commands into our robot dog. These are like the basic commands you'd teach a real dog, such as sit, stay, and fetch. We'll do this by linking specific actions to specific inputs. For example, when we say fetch, the robot will know to look for an object, grab it, and bring it back to us. But here's the most exciting part. As our robot dog interacts with the world, it will continue to learn and improve. So if it struggles with fetching at first, don't worry. With time and practice, it will get better. And there you have it. We've just programmed an AI into our robot dog. It's a process that requires patience and a bit of technical know-how, but the result is a robot that can learn, adapt, and interact with the world in a way that was once the stuff of science fiction. With the AI programmed, our robot dog is now ready to learn and interact with the world. Our AI robot dog is built and programmed, but it still needs to learn how to behave like a dog. Now we've finally reached the stage where we can breathe life into our creation, where our robot dog starts learning, adapting, and behaving like a real dog. This is where the magic of machine learning comes into play. So, what is machine learning? Machine learning is a subset of artificial intelligence that enables machines to learn from data, improve from experience, and make predictions or decisions without being explicitly programmed to do so. It's like teaching a child how to walk. You can't simply program the steps. The child has to try, stumble, get up, and try again, learning from each fall until they can walk on their own. Similarly, we'll be training our AI robot dog using a method called reinforcement learning. In reinforcement learning, our robot dog will learn how to behave by interacting with its environment. It learns from both rewards and punishments, just like a real dog, gradually improving its behavior over time. Let's start with a simple command like sit. Initially, our robot dog doesn't understand what sit means, so we'll use a reward system. When the robot dog successfully sits after hearing the command, we'll reward it. This reward signals to the robot's AI that the action taken was correct. Over time, through repetition and reinforcement, our robot dog will associate the command sit with the action of sitting down. But remember, it's not always about rewards. Just like we learn from our mistakes, our robot dog should too. If the robot dog fails to sit after hearing the command, we won't reward it. This lack of reward serves as a signal that the action taken was incorrect. However, we don't want to punish our robot dog severely, as it might discourage its learning process. The key is to maintain a balance between rewards and non-rewards. Now, you might be wondering, how does the robot dog know what action to take in the first place? This is where the concept of exploration and exploitation comes in. In the beginning, our robot dog will randomly explore different actions. This is called exploration. As it starts receiving rewards and learning which actions are beneficial, it will start to exploit these actions more often. This is called exploitation. While training, it's important to remember that our AI robot dog won't get everything right immediately. It's a gradual process, just like training a real dog. It will take time, patience, and a lot of repetition. But with each iteration, our robot dog will learn a little more, improving its ability to understand and respond to commands. Another crucial aspect to consider while training our AI robot dog is the environment. Just like a real dog, our robot dog will behave differently in different environments. For instance, the command fetch would require different actions in a park than in a living room. Therefore, it's important to train our robot dog in various environments to ensure it can adapt to different situations. But remember, the goal is not to create a robot that merely mimics a dog. We want our AI robot dog to understand, learn, and evolve just like a living creature. It's not about programming specific responses to specific commands. It's about creating an AI that can learn from its environment, make decisions, and improve over time. Lastly, it's important to remember that machine learning is an ongoing process. Our AI robot dog will continue to learn and improve even after the initial training. It's a journey of constant learning and evolution, just like life itself. So let's embark on this exciting journey of bringing our AI robot dog to life. Let's teach it, train it, and watch it learn and grow. After all, isn't that what creating is all about? With training, our AI robot dog can now behave just like a real dog. But remember, this is just the beginning. The possibilities are endless, and the future is as exciting as we dare to imagine. We've built and trained our AI robot dog, but this is just the beginning. As we stand on the cusp of a new era, we can only imagine the incredible leaps and bounds that the future of AI robot dogs may have in store. So let's take a moment to ponder the potential advancements of these intelligent companions. One day, our robot dogs might not only be able to fetch the morning paper but also read the headlines to us. They could potentially understand and respond to complex commands, even anticipate our needs based on learned behaviors. Imagine having an AI dog that learns your routine, knows when you need your morning coffee, and can even brew it for you. Or an AI dog that can sense when you're feeling down and play your favorite song to lift your spirits. The possibilities are endless and incredibly exciting. But it's not only about making our lives more comfortable. These AI robot dogs could also play critical roles in various sectors. In healthcare, they could assist people with disabilities or the elderly, serving as their guide, companion, or even a caretaker. In search and rescue missions, these robot dogs, equipped with advanced sensors, could navigate through dangerous terrains, locating and saving lives. In the world of entertainment, imagine AI robot dogs that can perform intricate dance routines or participate in interactive games. In education, they could serve as interactive learning tools, making education more engaging for children. As we continue to push the boundaries of what's possible, we must also be mindful of the ethical implications. As we imbue these robots with more intelligence and autonomy, We need to ensure that they are programmed to act responsibly and ethically. But let's not get ahead of ourselves just yet. We've just scratched the surface of what we can achieve with our AI robot dog. There's a whole world of possibilities waiting to be explored, and we're just getting started. As we continue to explore the potential of AI and robotics, who knows what the future holds for our AI robot dogs? We've come a long way from gathering components to training our AI robot dog. Over the past half an hour, we've gone on quite the journey, haven't we? From the dawn of AI and robotics to the future of our AI robot dogs, we've covered a lot. It's time now to wrap up our adventure and take a brief look back at the key steps we've covered in creating our very own AI robot dog. We started with understanding the fascinating interplay between AI and robotics. We delved into how these two technological marvels have evolved over the years and how they've culminated in the creation of AI robot dogs. It's an exciting time to be alive, isn't it? Next, we moved on to gathering the essentials. This step is crucial as it sets the stage for the entire project. It's like cooking a meal. You need the right ingredients in the right quantities. We talked about the importance of various components like the microcontroller, sensors, motors, and the like. Each of these components plays a critical role in bringing our AI robot dog to life. Then came the exciting part, building the skeleton. This is where we started to see the physical form of our robot dog take shape. We discussed the importance of a sturdy and flexible skeleton that can support the weight of the components and allow for fluid movement. Our robot dog needs to be agile and robust, just like a real one. After that, we dove into installing the brain of our AI robot dog. The brain, or the microcontroller, is the command center of our robot. It's where all the decisions are made and actions are executed. We learned about the intricacies of choosing the right microcontroller and how to install it correctly. Programming the AI was our next step. This is where we gave our robot dog the intelligence to understand and respond to its environment. We looked at how to code the AI and the importance of fine-tuning the algorithms to ensure optimal performance. Remember, the better the AI, the smarter our robot dog will be. Next, we ventured into training our AI robot dog. This is where we taught our robot dog to understand commands and respond appropriately. We talked about the importance of repeated training sessions and the need for patience in this process. Just like training a real dog, training an AI robot dog requires time and consistency. Finally, we looked at the future of AI robot dogs. We discussed how advancements in AI and robotics could lead to more sophisticated and capable robot dogs in the future. It's an exciting field with limitless potential, and we're just scratching the surface. Each of these steps is vital in creating an AI robot dog. They all contribute to the final product, and skipping any one of them could lead to a less than optimal result. Just like baking a cake, each ingredient and each step in the recipe is important. Miss one, and your cake might not turn out as you hoped. It's been quite the ride, hasn't it? From understanding the basics of AI and robotics to creating and training our very own AI robot dog, we've covered a lot. But remember, this is just the beginning. There's so much more to explore and learn in the exciting world of AI and robotics. With the knowledge you've gained today, you are now ready to embark on your own journey in the exciting world of AI and robotics. So go on, take that first step. Who knows where it might lead?